Welcome back, everybody, to the Circle Show 24/7, and this is episode 2 of ABC's Once Upon a Time, entitled Lost Girls. So let's get right into it. All right, guys. Now we're getting back into Once Upon a Time, episode 2, Lost Girls. It was a okay episode. It wasn't spectacular. Nothing like really wowed me. And I know like that's bound to happen in like Once Upon a Time. They're gonna have like some duds and some ones that are not as good. I'm not saying it was a bad episode, but it wasn't as good as like the premiere. Maybe I thought the premiere was just a lot better because I was waiting for it to come back for so long. You know what I mean? But this one had its moments. Some stuff I could have done without, like the whole flashback scene with Snow White and Prince Charming. I felt like that was very unnecessary. The only thing that really came out of it that I enjoyed was like they hinted at Excalibur and Merlin and stuff like that. So other than that, like I could have done without that whole entire scene, and they could have just had a scene, or that secondary storyline could have been about like Neil and Milan and Aurora and all that, and what they're doing. I could have did that, but the flashback scene, like I said, we didn't really need it. Now we're going back to the main story with Emma and them, the Emma's team Emma, and how they're still trying to search for Henry, and how they're still not really getting along, and they still don't want to pay attention to each other, and they still bickering and fighting. And I do like the chemistry between Hook and everybody. I think out of everybody in that group, Hook is like the very he's a very outlandish and very I don't know, it's just he has like this very big charisma about him. And it's just fun to watch him, how he talks to everybody and how he's just trying to make friends with everybody, but nobody really wants to be Hook's friend. And he's telling he's telling Charming like, yo, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna like me. We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna have a nice bromance. So I like that. I thought that was very funny. And Emma, she's still kind of down herself, and she finally gets to meet Pan, which I thought was very interesting. I didn't think that they were going to introduce him to Emma like that quick. Because I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he didn't get to see her in the first episode. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. But at the same time, like she was like, "Where's Henry?" and stuff, and he gave her kind of like a game to play. So I like that, because that's still going into Pan's kind of personality. Like he's a gamer. He likes to play games, but this is a more serious take on Peter Pan. So, and speaking of him, he was good. He was good in this episode. I liked him better in the first episode, but I want him to be more evil, because they keep telling us that he's evil, but I want him to be a lot more evil. You know what I mean? I want him to really get that goody two shoes kid image out of our heads, because he's got the Disney image in our head. So I want him to really do some evil stuff. They say he can do evil stuff, but I haven't really seen anything. He talks a lot, and he has other people like the Lost Boys doing all this work, but I want him to really get into it. I still think he's an interesting character. I'm still going with my assumption that I think he's Rumple's dad. I don't know how that's going to happen, but in my theory, like he was an older man. He left Rumple like when Rumple was a kid, because he felt like he wasn't amounting to anything. He was getting older. He didn't really have a good life, so he came to Neverland. He became young for some reason. Maybe got cursed young, and he doesn't want to go back to being old. So that's what I'm thinking. That's my theory. So if that happens, I call dibs first. So if that ever happens, but yeah, he gives Emma that task to do, to like he gives her the map to where Henry is. The map is blank, and he basically tells her like the only way you're gonna see this map if you believe in whoever you are. And she's trying to figure this out, and I like that. First everybody's like, oh, she's got to be the saver, and the S word. And Hook's like, what S word? Like Hook's like all lost and stuff, and she thinks she says to save her, it doesn't work and stuff. But we find out like what it really is, and she's an orphan, and that's who she really is. So she has to embrace that, that she was an orphan, that she was the lost girl. And speaking of the title, when I saw the title and what it was going to be last week, I immediately thought it was going to be Tinkerbell. Like, oh, this episode is going to be about Tinkerbell, how she was a lost girl and stuff like that. So this entire episode, until they kind of reveal that, oh, Emma's the lost girl and stuff, I'm waiting on Tinkerbell. You know what I mean? So I got my hopes down a little bit. So that's probably another reason why I didn't enjoy it, because I was hoping for, like, oh, Tinkerbell's the lost girl, I'm in love right now. You know what I mean? But I didn't get that. So a little let down with that. But yeah, she ends up figuring out that she's an orphan, and now that she embraces the fact that she is an orphan, and Mary Margaret and everybody, they have to let her embrace that. And I think Mary Margaret is letting her embrace that, and Mary Margaret is embracing that herself, that because yeah. But see, okay, no. This is more like I don't know. I'm just going everywhere. I'm sorry, guys, but this is more like, I didn't get it. Like, she I feel like she keeps blaming Mary Margaret and stuff, but she already knows, like, why Mary Margaret and Charming had to do that. So why, like, put all this blame on them? She's kind of making them feel like shit all the time. I don't really get that. She's kind of being like a little bratty for in that sense. I get that she was alone and stuff like that, and this, that, and third. But now that she knows that why her family had to do it, she could be like, oh, okay, I understand. And I don't really feel like she understands. So that's kind of frustrating, because she needs to understand that this is the reason why we gave you up. We didn't want to give you up, you know what I mean? Because we didn't love you or anything. We had to give you up to let you survive so you can be where you're at now. So I think Emma's just taking this a little bit too um, bratty. Like, I don't know, it's weird, but that part is just, it doesn't really resonate with me. I'm not on Emma's side. I'm more on Mary Margaret's side, because Mary Margaret is still trying to put in the effort, and Mary Margaret's the one that's got to apologize for, like, giving her daughter, like, life. I don't get that. It's different if Mary Margaret was like a bitch or something and just gave them away just to give her away because she was on, like, crack cocaine or something. Some real type shit. You know what I mean? So I didn't understand that, but overall, it was an okay episode. I think what's still interesting about this episode that kind of made it to not where it sucked too bad was the whole Rumple storyline. And, he's always a great character. And his storyline with, like, the whole doll and how he keeps trying to get rid of it. And he tells you that it was like his father gave it to him. So that's like the last memory of his father. And he keeps trying to throw it away, and it keeps coming back. So, like I said, I think Pan is like a younger version of his dad. I'm going to say it again so you people won't take credit for it. I think Peter Pan was an older guy. He was Rumple's dad. He hated his life. He knew his life was shitty. He got cursed, went to Neverland and stuff like that. And now he's young and he doesn't ever want to go back. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it. I like the fact that we did get to see Belle and how she was kind of like his conscience and stuff, and trying to get Rumple back on, like, the right path and stuff. So I really like that, because they're always a great oddball couple to root against. So I'm glad that we got to see her, because I was feeling like, oh, we're not going to see her until, like, later on in the season. It might be on, like, 2 or 3. So I'm okay with that we get to see her, like, now for, like, Rumple's conscience. Overall, it was an okay episode. I wish they had a little bit more. Like I said, could have done without the whole, uh, Snow White flashback storyline. I didn't really care too much about it. Hook was still a great asset to this episode. He was still funny. But yeah, overall, what do you guys think? Did you like it? Please comment below. Let me know. And as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy.